Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here to predict the 9-game early slate for MLK Day. A couple things before I get in the video. If you're new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos talking about NBA DFS as well as NFL DFS. I'm also here to announce the winner to the weekly $20 PayPal giveaway. The winner is Dwayne James. Congrats. Either hit me up in the YouTube comment section or on Twitter. I can make sure to get you that $20 PayPal. But yeah, how this giveaway works is all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in the video. That's one entry in the giveaway. Max one comment up the video. So it starts with this video right here. We'll go throughout the week. We'll end on my Monday NBA video at the end of the week. So however many videos I've uploaded for the week, you can enter the giveaway that many times. So if I have 10 videos uploaded for the week, you can enter the giveaway 10 times. And again, the winner receives $20 PayPal for myself. But with that out of the way, let's jump to the video. So really excited for this for tomorrow because we got a nice 9-game early slate and then a 5 or 6 game late slate. So NBA all day. Super excited about this. All right, let's take a look at some numbers here for the games that are out as far as over-unders and spreads. So we got Pistons Wizards right now sitting at 233 with the Wizards favored by 1. We have the Raptors and Hawks sitting at 231. With the Raptors favored by 8. We have the Bulls and the Bucks sitting at 226 with the Bucks favored by 14. So obviously there's a bit of blowout risk there. We have Knicks Cavs sitting at 221. The Cavs favored by 1.5. We have the Thunder and the Rockets sitting at 229 with the Rockets favored by 6.5 points. We have the Magic and the Hornets sitting at 207.5 with the Magic favored by 4. We have the Kings Heat right now sitting at 222 with Miami favored by 5. And then these games are in the late slate. So all right, as always, we'll start center today. And once again, we have Joel Embiid still out. So we can definitely consider some of these other Philadelphia pieces. And we have Al Horford questionables. This is pretty significant news right now for Philly. I'll talk about some of the other pieces there in a bit. Andre Drummond at 9.6K, really good spot here against Washington. I wouldn't be super concerned about the last game against Atlanta. It was a blowout, so he only played 27 minutes. I think that game stays close. He's on pace for about 35 or so. So I'm perfectly fine with playing Andre Drummond at under 10K in a really good spot here against Washington. Don't mind Bam either at 8.5K. Did have a really solid game there against San Antonio. 36 minutes, had 54 fantasy points. It's a decent spot here against Sacramento too. So I'm okay with Bam at that price. Vucevic always seems like a pretty safe option, 8.4. Bigs against the Hornets has been a thing all year that everyone wanted to target. I guess the concern is this game's to be played at a really slow pace. Both Orlando and Charlotte play at like a snail's pace, so not going to be super fast paced, but at 8.4K, I think he does stand out as a pretty safe option there. Capella at 8.1 is fine, but probably not for me. Randall at 7.7, I think it definitely intrigues me here. Him, Marcus Morris getting the big minutes, like 35 plus. This match against Cleveland is a really good one. So yeah, I think he's about $500 too cheap. So I do have some interest here in Randall. Again, really good matchup there against Cleveland. Siakam at 7.5K. A lot of the Raptors guys got limited because that game was, I believe that game was a blowout. I know it only finished with a 10-point game, but let me confirm that. That game was, the 18th? I'm almost positive this game was a blowout, and then maybe the bench made it close. My app's going to close down. Let's see. Come on. Let's see, Raptors. Let me just go to the play-by-play. Yeah, no, it actually was a close game. Okay. Never mind. I wonder why all the starters kind of got limited there. Huh. Okay. Well, that's a little bit concerning, right? That a lot of these starters got limited when the game stayed close. Only 24 minutes from Siakam. So, yeah, I mean, earlier in the season, he was playing close to 40 minutes. And with everyone healthy now, right? They have everyone healthy. Lowry, Fred VanVleet, Siakam, Ibaka, Gasol. Everyone is healthy. I don't know. I don't think even in a good spot, I need to see him play more minutes before I can target him confidently. So if he's only going to play 25 to 30 minutes, I just can't do it. We have Al Horford right now listed at 7.3K, but he is listed as questionable. This is really big news. If he can't go, then obviously Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris become really good plays. And then I think a guy like Kyle O'Quinn would be very viable as a cheap option. So yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on here for as far as Horford's status. Other options, Zion, I don't think he's going to be available for this game. The list is doubtful. I think he's going to be back on Wednesday. But I assume they're going to ease him back into it. Derek Favors, once again, listed as questionable. This guy just seems to always be questionable. I think if he plays, I would like him a lot. But yeah, this will be something we have to keep an eye on for sure. Let's see. Yeah, again, these Toronto starters, Ibaka only got 24 minutes. I don't know. It's a tricky spot. Like, I feel like I should like a lot of the guys, but a lot of them got limited in that game. Let's see. Marketing that for me. Jarrett Allen, you could definitely look to with no DeAndre Jordan. I think he probably gets close to 30 minutes. And if Al Horford gets ruled out, that would be a pretty big boost, right? No Embiid, possibly no Horford. He could be going up against the likes of a Kylo Quinn or Norvel Pele. So, yeah, that will definitely be a boost to Jarrett Allen for sure if those guys can't, if Al Horford can't go. Marc Gasol at 5.9. Now he seems priced about right. It's a good spot. But again, he only played 20 minutes the last game. It's just, I don't know what to do with these Toronto guys. We have Holmes still out, and we have Bagley. It looks like he re-aggravated his foot injury. So, if he can't go, we could look to guys like Giles, possibly Dedmon as value plays. Bielitsa will play a lot more minutes too, so that's something to keep an eye on. Let's see. Other options. Okafor listed as questionable as well. So, if both Okafor and Favors can't go, then we could look to guys like Jackson Hayes as a value play. I think he would really stand out. So, yeah, again, something we'll have to monitor going into tomorrow. Again, no DeAndre Jordan. I think Jarrett Allen probably gets close to 30 minutes. Thomas Bryant, they've really been easing him back into it. 15, 12, and 16 minutes. I can't target him even at this price unless we hear that he's going to be off his minutes limit. So, I mean, I like the price tag on Bryant, but he's just not getting enough run for me to consider him. Cody Zeller has been starting the last couple games. 30, 23, and 22 minutes. I think he's an okay value play if he starts once again. Yeah, so Jackson Hayes, right, he would stand out as a really solid value play if both Favors and Jahlil Okafor can't go. And I think I just realized I passed, I passed Jonas Valanciunas here at 7.1K. So I wanted to bring up Jonas Valanciunas because of these minutes recently, right? 30, 29, 28, and 32 minutes. The issue with Jonas Valanciunas this season has been some games he'll play 22 minutes, some games he'll play like 29 minutes. But we've seen consistent minutes from the last 4 games. And this Pelicans team could be pretty thin up front if Favors can't go, if Okafor can't go. So I would really like Jonas Valanciunas here if both those guys can't go. Either way, I would like him. Like 7.1K. Right now, he's playing about 30 minutes a game. So I think Jonas Valanciunas does stand out as a really good option there at that price. But yeah, back to the cheaper centers. Don't hate Larry Nance at 3.9K. He's making some decent run, backing up Love and Thompson, 24, 25 minutes. I think he's okay value play. Nicholas Claxton, so he's been playing the backup 5 with no DeAndre Jordan. He got 19 minutes, had 28 fantasy points. Don't know if we can expect that again. Like earlier in the season, he wasn't a super high usage guy, so he's more just like a dart throw play in my opinion. Yeah, so a guy like Kylo Quinn, right, 3.5K. He played that game against Chicago, did not play that most recent game. But if Al Horford misses, I think there's a good chance that Kyle Quinn could start at center. If that's the case, he'd become a really good value play because he's a pretty productive when he gets minutes. Also, they could start a guy like, where is he? Norvel Pele, who, yeah, I think they could start one of those guys. Obviously, Kyle Quinn is the guy that has more upside, so we'll see what they end up doing if Horford gets ruled out. Also, where is, let's see, Harry Giles at the flat minimum. So, yeah, he's been limited, obviously, those last couple games because Bagley's been playing. But if Bagley can't go, we've seen Giles start and play about 15 to 20 minutes. At the flat minimum price, you could look to him if he starts for the Kings, for sure. But I think that's really it for centers. Let's move on to power forward. Giannis at the top, 11.2K. Decent spotting in Chicago. Chicago has been actually pretty solid defensively, but yeah, 11.2K does seem a little bit too cheap for Giannis. The issue always with him is, do you think the Bulls keep this close? Obviously, there's some risk, right? A 14-point spread. So there's definitely some risk involved with Giannis, but if the game stays close, he could put up, 60, 70 fancy points. I do like Ingram a good amount against, in this matchup against Memphis. This is a pretty appealing game to stack. 2 teams that don't play a whole lot of defense and 2 teams that play at a really fast pace. Ingram, 41 and 40 minutes last couple games. I think you can definitely look to him if Drew Holiday's out. Now, if Drew Holiday is able to go, that would definitely take a hit to Ingram's usage. So Someone to keep an eye on there for sure with the status of Jrue Holiday. Kevin Love at 7.9. Don't mind him, but his price is creeping up. I still think he's fine, but doesn't really stand out as like a great play. Yeah, so a guy like Tobias Harris, I think we could definitely look to if Al Horford can't go, because then it's, him, Ben Simmons that do a lot offensively. Good spot here against Brooklyn too. So I would those two guys would get a huge boost if Al Horford can't go. Yeah, so Bjelica at 6.8K. He's been playing huge minutes. I think he would probably be asked to play more if Marvin Bagley can't go. He's okay, but 6.8K just against Miami too kind of feels like a lot. Danilo Gallinari, they ruled him out for rest that game against Portland. He's been pretty consistent here. 32, 39, 33, 45 fantasy points. Good spot here against Houston. So I'm perfectly fine with him for cash games at that price. Triple J got in some foul trouble that last game against Cleveland. Only played 20 minutes. I'm okay with him, but I think I like the upside more. Jonas Valanciunas sort of an extra 1,000. Let's see. Other options. So I do like Marcus Morris a good amount here. 35, 35, 33, 36 minutes. We still have no RJ Barrett. Him and Julius Randle have been playing really consistent minutes, right? This match against Cleveland is really solid, and you're getting a 5.6K price tag for Marcus Morris. I just think that's too cheap for him. So I think he stands as a really solid play here in the mid-tier. Definitely one of my favorite plays. Let's see, OG Anunoby. Again, these minutes for them, like, he played 39 against OKC, but only 26 in the game in a blowout, but only 24 in a game that stayed close against Minnesota. So it's tricky to kind of figure out what Toronto's going to be doing with this rotation. Let's see. Yeah, so a guy like Miles Bridges, I'm normally not a big Miles Bridges guy because of those minutes, right? Kind of up and down. But 4.7K is a little cheap. Like, he could play the high end of those minutes, like play 35 minutes, can definitely get you there. But again, if he's playing bad, they will limit him. So he's a little bit more for GPPs for me. But yeah, I think that's really it for power forward. So let's move on to small forward. And Ben Simmons at the top here at 9.1K against Brooklyn, I think really stands out, and he would get a pretty big boost if Al Horford can't go. So yeah, the thing is with him too, the minutes, right? He's basically averaging 40 minutes a game, doing all the peripheral stats. Good spot here against Brooklyn again. So, and especially if Al Horford misses, you have to do more offensively. So yeah, I would really like Ben Simmons there if Al Horford can't go. I still think you can go there even if Horford is able to play. Jimmy Butler at 8.3 just seems priced about right. He's been kind of up and down this season. Yeah, I'm okay with him, but probably not going to go that I go. As far as the Washington guys and their minutes, like, no one's playing huge minutes. Even Beal, I know the game was a blowout, but still, he wasn't even on pace for like 30 minutes. Like, 7.3K does seem like a really appealing price, but I just can't go there yet until I see him play minutes in like the mid-30s. Middleton's been pretty consistent. I'm actually okay with him at 6.8K. Yeah, normally I just kind of look to Giannis and that's it, but he's been pretty solid recently, and the price tag is pretty fair. Josh Richardson would be a guy who would look to if Al Horford can't go. If Al Horford plays, probably not for me. Let's see. Other options. Svi's been playing well recently, but I just can't pay 5.5K for Svi Mikhailuk. There's just no way. Sekou 5.3. Again, good spot, but he's been very up and down. Other options. Thibul's been starting at 4.4K, but you kind of got to hope he gets those blocks and steals because he really doesn't do a whole lot offensively. Yeah, I'm okay with him, but I don't know. Reggie Bullock at 4.4 is a little bit intriguing. Now, he started to play 35 minutes the last game against Philly. Don't know if we can expect that again, but at 4.4K, doesn't have to do a whole lot to get you there, and again, a good spot too. So I would have some interest there in Bullock as a value play. Don't mind Josh Hart either at 4.4. He's been playing big minutes, no Jrue Holiday, right? 33, 36, 37, 35. Not a super high usage guy, but good spot against Memphis. So yeah, I'm definitely okay with Josh Hart as well there as a value guy. Yeah, Joe Harris. I don't think I ever played Joe Harris, but 3.8K for a guy that, probably gets close to 30 minutes, right? He's going off his last game's 35, only 21 in the game against Atlanta. I believe that was a blowout, though, 34-26. I'm okay with him as value play, too. Like, 3.8K does seem pretty cheap for him. But I think that basically wraps up for small forwards. Let's move on to shooting guard. Harden at the top at 11K. So this is an interesting spot here. He's been, not so good the last couple games. It's been the Westbrook show. Westbrook has been playing really well, and it's a revenge spot here for Westbrook. So I think everyone is going to go to Russell Westbrook, who's been again playing well. He's got the revenge narrative too, but it's going to be interesting. 11K for Harden is a pretty cheap price tag. So I definitely have some interest here in Harden at that price. I think his ownership will be pretty low compared to a guy like Westbrook. Zach LaVine at 8.7 is probably Chicago's best shot to keep it close. He's had some big games here recently. Again, Milwaukee's pretty solid defensively, but if you're a guy that's going to run, play Giannis, you're probably going to want to run it back with LaVine because if the Bulls keep it close, most likely because of Zach LaVine. SGA has been really solid here. 7.4. His price isn't moving. Really good spot too. Just look at his four recent games, right? 66, 45, 38, 42 fancy points. Really up-tempo game with Houston. The minutes have been there. I'm perfectly fine with SGA here at this price. Even with Gallinari back, right? SGA has been playing really well. Don't hate D Rose. Again, really good spot. His minutes have been a little bit up and down. Only 26 the last game against Atlanta, but that game was a blowout, so I think he was on pace for over 30. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with him. I think he's more in play for GPPs because of this price tag, but I still think he has upside there. Jrue Holiday, yeah, so this is pretty significant, right? He's listed as questionable. If he can't go, Ingram gets a boost, and Josh Hart is a value play, and Lonzo Ball especially too. So definitely something to keep an eye on there with the status of Jrue Holiday. Rozier at 7K in a tough spot against Orlando. I think I'll pass. Fred VanVleet at 6.7K, so he did get 28 minutes at the game against Minnesota. He was out for a couple weeks. I think he does stand out at this price point. Again, a lot of the Raptors guys got limited. I think that's probably more of just a one-off situation because normally the Raptors guys get big minutes. So I think Fred VanVleet would be my favorite of those Raptors guys, just because 6.7K does seem pretty cheap. Like even if he only gets like 30 or so minutes, I still think he can get you there at that price. So I definitely have some interest there for Fred VanVleet at that price. Don't mind Schroeder either at 6.3K. Going to come off the bench, probably play around 30 minutes. He kind of had an off game, but he does have upside. I think he's more in play for GPPs though. Let's see. Kendrick Nunn's been really solid. He's been getting big minutes too. Even with Tyler Hero back, he's got 31, 31, 31, 36 minutes. So I'm okay with Kendrick Nunn. He's been playing big minutes. Again, Sacramento playing at a bit faster pace there with De'Aaron Fox back in the lineup. Let's see. Other options here. Not a whole lot else I'm excited about. Oh, so DiVincenzo at 4.1. I think he's certainly in play as a value guy, right? He probably gets around 25 or so minutes. He's been pretty consistent this year, right? About 20 to 30 fancy points, somewhere in that range. So 4.1K, I think he stands out as a pretty decent value play there. Hero got really limited his first game back, only played 9 minutes. So obviously you can't go there until you see him play more minutes. But I think that wraps it up for shooting guard. So let's talk about point guard here. Again, Harden, I think he goes a lot lower on compared to a guy like Westbrook. Again, revenge spot here for Westbrook. He's played 42 and 40 minutes. He's playing really well. Shooting the ball well. 11 and 22, 15 and 23, 69 and 60 fancy points the last couple games. So I think the flocks are going to go to Westbrook. I don't think Westbrook's a bad play, but I just think he's going to be a lot higher on compared to a guy like Harden. So if you're a guy that, likes riding hot streaks, again, I'm perfectly fine with Westbrook, who seems a bit underpriced right now, but I just think Harden is to be super low owned. And anytime you can get a low owned Harden at a reasonable price, I think, if you're making multiple lineups, you for sure got to take a shot at him in one of those. Trae Young at 9.5K is going to be, the best shot to keep this game close. Toronto pretty solid defensively, but a 9.5K price tag does make Trae Young in play. Fox, I really want to play him, but tough spot here against Miami. Bogdano's back, only played 31 minutes against the Jazz. I don't know. I think he's still viable for GPPs, but I just don't know if I want to play him there against Miami. Now, John Morant, I actually do have some interest here at 8.2K. This game, again, really stands out as a good game-to-game stack. The thing with him is the minutes, right? 37, 33 minutes the last couple games. So, excuse me. The issue with him earlier in the season was he would play 25, maybe 30 minutes. But now he's playing more consistent minutes. Like these Memphis starters are getting extended a bit. Him, Jonas Valanciunas, and a really good spot against the Pelicans. So I still have some interest here in Ja Morant at 8.2K. Don't mind Lowry either. Again, a lot of the starters got limited. He's still got 28 minutes. I think in a normal game, he probably gets closer to 35. So I'm perfectly fine there with Lowry. If you want to play him over Fred VanVleet for an extra, 1,300, I'm okay with that. Again, a really good spot there against Atlanta. One of the best spots. Now, Kyrie Irving, this is where I'm a little bit undecided here because his minutes have been there, right? 37. Now, 31 in the game against Milwaukee, but that was a blowout. My issue is I played him there against Philadelphia. He just had a really bad shooting night, and I just didn't like the way Philly was defending him. They were double-teaming him and making him pass the ball, which is obviously not good for fantasy-wise, right? If a team's going to double-team your guy that you play, it's not very good. So I like the price, and I like that he probably gets 35 or so minutes in this one. So I'm a little bit torn here, just because, again, Philly has been, or at least when I watched that game, they were just double-teaming him like almost every play. Let's see. Other options, yes. Lonzo Ball, I would really like him if Drew Holiday can't go. The minutes have just been massive for him. 33, 46, 42, 39 minutes. He's playing huge minutes. His upside is enormous without Drew Holiday, and 7K is a very fair price tag. So I would really like Lonzo Ball if Drew Holiday can't go. I also like Chris Paul a good amount, 6.8K. Revenge spot for him. He's been a little bit more up and down, but we saw what he did against the last game against Houston in 28 minutes, put up 42 fancy points. The game blew out too, so I had some interest in Chris Paul for sure. Again, I know he's been a little bit more up and down, but 6.8K does seem really cheap for CP3. Again, I do like Fred VanVleet a good amount there too. Let's see, Bledsoe, don't mind at 6.2K. He's been a little bit down recently, but he's still getting close to 30 minutes in close games, so I'm okay with him at that price point. I actually don't mind Sexton either. He's been playing really well. The Mets have been there too. 37, 34 Mets. I'm okay with him. This game in general, two really bad teams going up against each other. So I actually don't hate Colin Sexton there. Normally I just kind of bypass him, but I think he's viable. Alfred Payton. So this is tricky because if I knew he was going to play 32 Mets, I would really like him. But again, I played in the game against Phoenix. Only got 24 minutes, so that was a little bit tilting. And then this next game, he gets his 32 minutes. So I don't know. If he plays his over 30 minutes, I would really like him, but I think there's a chance that he only plays like mid-20s minutes, so he's a bit riskier. Jeff Teague, so I liked him a good amount there for GPPs in the last game there against Detroit. Played 25 minutes at 31 fancy points. He probably gets 20 to 25 minutes again. The issue is, for his price is coming up, and it's a tougher spot here against Toronto. Let's see. Other options. I guess I bypassed LeVert. I don't mind LeVert at 4.6. The thing with him, though, is just he's not been playing big minutes. He's kind of capped like 25 or so. He's been, not great recently, but 4.6K does make him like in play. But yeah, I think that basically wraps up for point guard. So again, 9 games. There's a lot of different ways we can go. Let's just go team by team again. So Detroit, I think Drummond and Derrick Rose are definitely viable. Drummond at 9.6K probably gets 35 minutes in a close game. Derrick Rose has been getting more minutes. Again, the game blew out, so I wouldn't be super concerned about that. So I think those two are definitely viable in a really good spot. As far as the Washington side goes, there's just no one I have interest in right now. No one's playing big minutes. Like if I was going to take a shot on a guy, it probably would be Brad Beal and just hope he gets like 35 minutes. But what we're seeing right now, they're really limiting his minutes. On the Toronto side, so this is a little bit tricky just because none of the starters got huge minutes, but I think that's more of an outlier game. I think normally the starters get, mid-30s minutes. So, you can look to Lowry, you could look to Fred VanVleet, who I like. Siakam has been coming back from injury. They have been capping his minutes about like 30 or so. So I don't know if I would go Siakam yet. But yeah, I think Lowry and Fred VanVleet do stand out as pretty good options there for Toronto. On the Atlanta side, not a whole lot besides Trae Young. I think Trae Young more of a contrarian play. On the Philadelphia side, so I do like a lot of Philly guys, especially if Al Horford gets rolled out. If Al Horford gets rolled out, it's Ben Simmons and it's Tobias Harris, and then it's, if Kyle Quinn starts, I would like him a good amount as value play. You can also look to Pele, who they could start for Horford as well. On the Brooklyn side, again, I'm a little bit undecided what I want to do with Kyrie. It's a pretty cheap price tag, and he's probably gets 35 minutes in a close game. It's just watching that game the other day, Philly double-teamed him almost every play. And then guys like Joe Harris, I think is actually a viable value play. Don't mind Jarrett Allen either, who probably gets 30 minutes. On the Sacramento side, we have the status of Marvin Bagley up in the air. If he can't go, Bjelica will play more minutes. A guy like Giles or Dedmon would become viable, cheap options. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. On the Miami side, I don't think anything really stands out. Like, I'm okay with Jimmy, I'm okay with Bam, I'm okay with none, but really nothing like sticks off as a great play to me. On the Chicago side, it's kind of Levine, and that's it. Like, if you're going to target Giannis, you're probably going to want to run it back with Levine. But again, there's definitely some blowout rest. On the Milwaukee side, Giannis as a spin up, but again, you know what you're getting into if you play him. Definitely a shot for a blowout. Don't mind Bledsoe or Middleton either at affordable price tags. On the OKC side, there's a decent amount to like. Right? Chris Paul's underpriced. I think SGA is a little bit underpriced for his level of production. Gallinari seems pretty safe. You can always look to Schroeder as a value play off the bench. On the Houston side, right, I think Westbrook's going to be a lot more popular, but he's been playing great. You could also look to pivot to a guy like James Harden, right? 11K with him goes a lot lower owned. And then Orlando, Charlotte, this game in general, just not a whole lot I'm excited about. Really, really low over under, right? 207, two really slow pace teams. So I'm okay with Vucevic at that price. I guess Cody Zeller's okay, or like a Miles Bridges, and hope he gets like 35 minutes, but not a whole lot I'm excited about there. New York, Cleveland, so I think Randall stands out as a pretty decent option. I also really like Marcus Morris at 5.6, I believe he's at. You could also look to Elfrid Payton and hope he gets over 30 minutes. I think those three guys would be my main targets. Also, Reggie Bullock has been getting decent minutes with no RJ Barrett. You could look to him as value play on the Cleveland side. I actually don't hate Sexton. I think Kevin Love's okay as well, but nothing really stands out there. And the final game here, the Pelicans and the Grizzlies. So this game really stands out to me. Probably my favorite game to game stack. On the Pelicans side, it's all about the status of Jrue Holiday, right? If he can't go, then Lonzo Ball becomes one of my favorite plays of the day. You could also look to Ingram as his spend-up has been amazing, and then Josh Hart be a viable value play. Also, we have Favor status up in the air. We have Okafor status up in the air. If both those guys can't go, I think Jackson Hayes would become one of the better value plays. But if Favors is able to go and not be limited, I would like him a good amount. So yeah, a lot of question marks there for the Pelicans. On the Memphis side, I think it's John Morant and Jonas Valanciunas for me because of those minutes, right? Jonas Valanciunas averaging about 30 minutes the last 4 games. John Morant about 35. We haven't seen that from them earlier, and this is a really good spot. So I have a lot of interest in that game for sure. I think it's definitely my favorite game to game stack. But yeah, that basically wraps it up for this 9-game early slate for MLK Day. I will be live streaming for this one. Probably at 45 minutes before lock, so be sure to check out the live stream, guys. I will go over all the news that we get. I will answer any questions you guys have, and I'll kind of give you guys my core plays if I was playing cash games. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. So if you have been enjoying the content, would really appreciate it if you could like this video and subscribe. Again, if you want to get entered in the giveaway, all you do is a like and a comment in the video. That's one in the giveaway. I'll be back for another video to break down the late slate for MLK Day. I'm going to have that video up right after this, so be on the lookout for that. So thanks again for everyone coming to check out the video, and I will see you guys later.